Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Happy Wednesday. Welcome back to the Ted Show. It's also Cinco de Mayo, so if you celebrate that, happy Cinco de Mayo. I'm super excited to always spend time with my friend, the one and only Dr. Professor, Dr. Michael B. Timmons. We're here to talk about all things aquaculture, aquaponics. Mike's got some great updates for you today. You guys have been asking me lots of questions. You love this show because I think people are really hungry for this kind of information and all the sustainability, since that's such a big deal, and it should be. Welcome, Mike. How you doing today?
Good morning, Ted. It is a good day for a great day.
It's great. It's a great day.
Great.
All right, just tell them a little bit about your background so that they know, and then let's take a deep dive into the nutrition and the amazing impact that what we're doing is going to have and is already having.
Well, first, thank you, Ted, for allowing me to take 20 minutes of your time and the audience's time. I really appreciate it.
I enjoy every minute of it.
I'd love to talk about this because I'm a farmer. I'm a farmer from Ohio. I grew up on a hog and dairy farm near Columbus, Ohio, where I went to Ohio State University and the Ohio State University.
The Ohio State, don't forget.
Before it was the Ohio State University. There's another story about that. They can watch an earlier TED show. I think this is our 5th one. So
number 5, lucky 5.
It's kind of like a series, you might want to watch them all, because earlier shows I tried to explain what hydroponics is, growing vegetables without ground, soilless culture, and then I talked about recirculating aquaculture, growing fish using no water, right? Remember, yes. I said, I raise fish with no water.
You did.
Then, of course, the spawns, a lot of questions, okay? And then we talked about the Paramore project, and close to all of our hearts. I'm new to Central Florida. I live in Vero Beach. I took early retirement because I'm only 84 years old. I took early retirement from Cornell University, where I was a professor in the biological and environmental engineering department.
And what about Cornell? What's the joke you always say?
Oh, yeah, what is that? You can always tell a man from Cornell, but you cannot tell him very much.
Still one of my favorites.
I know.
We love you, Cornell, but it's funny.
I know.
All right, so what are you going to talk about today? And I know you are ready and prepared, which is what I love. So much great stuff. We had tons of questions, Mike. People are really fascinated by this. So we have a lot of people following the wonderful information that you share. Uh-oh, what's that? Lettuce. That's a potato. I'm 2 for 2.
I think you're going to get an A today. Ted. You're my.
It would be real nice for once to get an A, Mike. Here we go.
No, you got an A last week.
Oh, I did. Good.
Extra credit. It was the extra credit question.
It had to be the extra credit.
Yeah, it only took 4 extra credits, and I finally got it.
Yeah. That's an onion.
Right. See? You're doing great.
Man, I'm good. Fantastic at this game.
We have to raise these.
Good morning, Rose.
Raise this.
We had somebody say good morning. Oh, yes. What's that?
So this is some more veggies. And look, we're raising it in water. And we can raise vegetables in water just like we can raise vegetables in the soil. Right? So we do soilless culture. Okay? And then, look at this, Ted. What is this?
Oh, God. All right. Hold on. It's a red snapper, orange roughy, and goldfish, no? Tennis ball.
Yeah. Yes. Some people might call it a yellow snapper, Okay,
Ooh.
goldfish, koi, yeah, yeah. So we raise fish in water, okay, and as we know, the fish, this is a real quick review, right? The fish, you feed them, they produce manures. They also excrete ammonia across their gills. These all become nutrients that we could actually transport over to our plants, and then we can raise them such that the nutrients needed by the plants are supplied by the fish, and it's a really, really nice ecological system. The key point of that, and what's relevant to us today, is you've heard this saying, Ted, you are what you eat.
Yes.
So we might want to think about eating things that are good for us. And how do we ensure that? Well, if we control what our fish eat, that means what they do not assimilate into their bodies as flesh, which we can then eat. See, look. Really good, right?
Please don't
See,
choke on that, Mike. I can't do the Heimlich through the internet.
Okay, I get choked up. I get so excited. So I was very comfortable eating that fish. I could even eat it raw. I did, I guess, coming out of the water. Because
Rose says she's a jalapeno.
well, actually that dish is called Bogart sashimi. But I was comfortable putting it into my body because I controlled what that fish consumed, what that fish ate. So the fish are what they eat. So you have to control what they eat. Okay. Now, this is a really key point. In the ocean, what are they eating? Things that we control what they eat, or they just go around like scavengers and predators and eat all kinds of things. And so then our predator fish become somewhat contaminated with mercury, for example. And I actually ran into a lady. She'd been eating tuna from the ocean for a long, long time. And then we were sitting discussing this in her living room, and the lights all went out, and she glowed in the dark.
Oh my God. I wasn't sure where that was headed, but it was going to be good.
Yeah. So that's the point, though. You are what you eat. So the goal of this project, which is many of the key companies, individuals, and particularly in Orlando, I think there's a project called Orlando World Live. Ow.
Well, he does bird calls too. I like it.
Owls are very wise, right? So that
yes, they are.
It's addressing the needs, of the old Orlando, right? I think it's called the Paramore District, right? And so what do they have there? So that's a community that could benefit from increasing the economic vitality of the community.
Yes.
Well, okay, I think I said this before. All great societies, I'm biased here, of course, all great societies are based upon a sound agricultural base. You have to be able to grow your food. Well, how do they grow food in Paramore? It's kind of challenging, right?
Right.
But not if you use our principles of recirculating aquaculture.
Right, I'm going to give you some front and center time, Mike, so you can tell them.
Yeah, so how do we do that in Paramore? Well, there's not like thousands of acres there, to support a traditional agricultural production system. So we can do it in using recirculating aquaculture, and we can do it using hydroponic to create the vegetables. You put those two things together and you have aquaponics, and so then that is the most responsible, sustainable way of producing food. And since we control what the fish eat, that means we have nutrients which are, quote, good for you, which then the plants assimilate, and then we can eat the plants. And when the lights go off at night, we're not going to glow.
Well, tell me about the impact, because honestly, it's the results that you get when you bring things into a community like that. Tell us, because
Well,
it's really important. It's so important because this is something that will actually help revitalize, might be the wrong word, but certainly help get past that food desert problem that's in Paramore. But it does so much more. This isn't just about food, right?
no, it's actually it's really not about food at all. Really, it's about how to create a community. You know, how to create a family, right? And you know, I had three other brothers, two bigger brothers and one little brother. And you know what? They all kind of beat me up once in a while, you know, and they would take my stuff, but they always kind of brought it back, you know, and then they would help me when I needed help because we were a family.
Right.
We help each other. And some of us were good at that, and some of us were good at that, and sometimes one of us had a broken leg, you know. Sometimes some of us, had the flu, and we would help each other. And our mom and our dad and my grandpa, you know, they would all help each other. That's a community. That's what we're trying to do in Paramore. Create a community where someone who has we can take advantage of everyone's abilities and skills. Well, do you have so Ted, believe it or not, you have different skills than I have, right? Like you're real.
Oh, I have skills. That's so nice.
You one of your skills is understanding and relating to other people and helping them get excited about the potential of the project. And one of my challenges is trying not to be so shy, you know, come out of my shell.
Wow, you really need to work on that, Professor Timmons.
You are helping me do that. I'm so pleased. Okay. So in the Paramore project, everybody has to eat.
Yes.
Well, what could be better than if we produce the food in Paramore that then we eat? Because then we know it's good for us.
Yes.
Okay? It's produced locally, so there's very little carbon footprint. And the really nice part is like everybody. Okay, I'm an engineer, right? So I mean, what do I know about all this, right? But
a very funny engineer, by the way.
Well, in my engineering view of the world, I was like, everybody wants to contribute. You know, when the Pilgrims came over here or whatever, right? And then the deal was, well, if you want to eat, you got to work, right? You got to contribute. Well, I can't do much. Well, you can pound corn. You can go catch fish and put the fish in the soil like the native residents taught us to do. Okay, you can do something to contribute to the community. So in our aquaponic operation, we need every level of individual contributing. That it could be a handicapped person, it could be a challenged person, it could be a Downs person, it could be a genius like you, Ted.
I don't know what Ted. Is there a Ted behind me?
Oh yeah, that other your twin brother.
Got to be a twin somewhere. God help us all if there's a twin of me somewhere.
But every level of ability and every talent can be captured and employed to become part of the community. Now, I have some other exciting news. I love teaching, right? I mean, I'm passionate about working with my students. So this Paramore project is kind of a companionship effort between my farm down here in Vero Beach and the Paramore community, because I can harvest vegetables if you run out up there, just in case, right?
Just in case. You never know.
I can go into my greenhouse, pick them, put them in a refrigeration truck, I do them right up there, and boom, you are eating right away, right? But I love teaching this stuff. So what about like people in the community in Paramore? How do they learn to do this? Well, I can teach them. I love teaching. And so part of what we're going to do is we're going to have a teaching center down here in Vero Beach and a research center. It will be the leading edge of R&D. Paramore will always be out in front. It will be always out in front of the latest technology, the latest everything, because I'm going to have the best scientists in the world down here in Vero Beach doing this stuff in the center. Okay, I think it's called the Bogart Center.
Oh, hey, listen. I'm sure Claude would love that.
It could be the Bogart Smith Center.
We can make it all Smith if you'd like.
That is going to be.
I just want to be in the background.
Because there's another part of our project, right? I think it's called Real Second Chance, right?
Yes.
Well, Real Second Chance. How do they gain those skills? Well, they could intern in the Paramore project in Paramore, right? Or they could intern in the Vero Beach project down here where I am, and go back and forth. So getting that hands-on training, that education is, I think, the key for those individuals to become, quote, contributing members of the community. And if you contribute to your family, do you feel good at Thanksgiving?
I do.
Exactly. Everybody, I think there's an inner drive to want to help your family and contribute, whether it's grandma or great grandpa or little Mary or little Enrique. I started working in my grandpa's dairy farm when I was 2.5, and my grandpa said, "Hey, Mikey, take that brush and go brush off the shelves." I went, "Great, Grandpa!" Right? He put me to work because I wanted to be part of the family.
Sure. And by doing that, you're part of the solution.
Exactly.
Which is really where we're at, and that's what we want to accomplish. Is we want to come in and assist and help grow and develop. We're not there to eradicate or redo or kick anybody out. We want everybody to be included and be part of the solution, because if you become part of the solution, it really does make changes. You're actually making the changes that you needed for your community. So I love it, Mike. All right. So how do people find out more about what we're doing?
Well, we have a website called ProfessorT.fish, where you can get really good stuff that's good for you to eat. Okay. Then we have ecornell.com, where I have online courses that tell you how to do all that stuff. Okay. And then, of course, I love talking to people. You know that, right?
I know.
And so they could call me. I actually pick up the phone once in a while.
Imagine that.
Area code 607-227-5638. That's your age and my age.
Wow. Well, you're only 38? It's pretty good. Yeah. Damn. You look great.
I know, pretty good for 38. Oh, no.
All right, guys. If you want to hear more about this, which a lot of you do, go to either all of those sites that we've tagged Mike in. You can also go to tedscommunity.com, which is scrolling across the bottom. Get involved and see what's going on in our community. We're making some really cool advancements, and it's going to make an impact. It doesn't just impact one section of the town, Paramore. It impacts our community as a whole, which then spreads out in a very cool ripple effect. So get involved. Reach out to Mike or me. Dr. Timmons, I'm sorry.
I like to inspire some of those young listeners and viewers out there to be engineers, because an engineer only needs 3 things to fix anything. Okay?
Oh, this is good. I'm ready. Duct tape.
Duct tape.
Oh, God. What is that thing called? Pliers.
Vice grips.
Vice grips.
And a nice knife.
And so that is a very MacGyver looking thing you just did.
So engineers fix things. I'm an engineer. I'm trying to help fix Paramore.
And that's what we all want to do, because it continues, guys. It's this long range goal of really doing the things for our city and the people in our city that we should already be doing, but we're kind of take control of that and do it ourselves. All right, Michael Timmons, PhD, the one and only Professor T. We'll see you guys very soon. We'll be talking more about this at least every week or every other week. Mike's always available. Reach out to him. Thanks, Mike, for being on the show. You're awesome.
Thank you, Ted.
I always get my good laugh and my good information when you're on.